Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to talk about solo queuing, and in a game like Valorant, solo queuing is probably one of the worst things that you can possibly try to do, especially in competitive. Solo queuing is a 100% gamble, and you can play a game, you can hop into a game and end up with a 4-stack that knows what they're doing, is very talkative, has good callouts, and you could run through a team just like you're a 5-stack. On the other side of things, you could run into a game like this, which I have in the background, where you run into 4 people who don't talk at all, and then you have people DC, and they all suck, and you lose the game because of it. And no matter how good you are, if you get put with bad teammates, there's not a whole lot you can do. I've had some games that I've won that I solo queued in that I should have lost but ended up winning, just really down to raw gun skill, is what will win you these solo queue games if you get paired with bad teammates. There really is no secret to it, but I do have some tips that will help you if you decide to solo queue. Obviously, if you ever have the chance, just play with other people. Obviously, playing with a 5-stack is the best. If you have a consistent 4 other people that you can play with, then you will automatically do better and win more games, simply because you have more synergy with each other and you are able to really win the games. Obviously, thankfully, Valorant tries their best to stack, to place 5-stacks versus 5-stacks and try to put solo queue players versus other solo queue players, which is really nice, because it means that you're not going up against other. You're not solo queuing going up against a 5-stack that has strats and really knows how each other play, good callouts and stuff like that. But if you are going to solo queue, play a duelist, right? Unless you just don't have anybody grabbing, Sage or something like that, is as helpful as somebody like Sage or Brimstone are. They aren't necessity. And if you are going to be solo queuing, you're mostly going to be relying on your gun skill. And the only way that you're going to win games is just by fragging out. Now, I purposefully put a game in the background where we did lose and where I did get terrible teammates, just to show that no matter how good you are, if you have bad teammates, there's not much you can do about it. Especially if the other team is better than your teammates in winning those gunfights. There's really not much you can do. Now, play a duelist. I personally prefer Phoenix. You could get away with somebody like Jet or Reyna. I think really the top 3 to play would be Phoenix, because he does have the ability to both flash and heal himself. Jet is really nice because she can get out of sticky situations with her dash and her updraft. Plus, she has the smokes if you're trying to, block off lines of sight. And then, clearly probably the best pick for a solo queue agent would be Reyna, because she does have the ability to go into every gunfight at full health. She has the same way that Phoenix would with those heals, but then she also has the ability to get herself out of sticky situations. And on top of both of those, she has the most powerful flash in the game, her Reyna Eye, or whatever it's called. But yeah, play a duelist and don't rely on your teammates, right? Unless you do get put with a 4-stack that knows what they're doing and is telling you what they're going to do, you have to just simply rely on yourself. Essentially, take the game as a 1 versus 5. Obviously, you do have your teammates there, and I hate to say this, but you can bait your teammates. You can, use your teammates to help you get kills, and pay attention to the minimap. See if you have teammates who could be watching your back. Don't expect them to watch your back. But if you have teammates placed in certain areas of the map, just know that, at least hopefully, if somebody is flanking behind you, they will die before the enemy gets to you. So when I do solo queue, I like to really pay attention to the minimap on where my teammates are playing. That way I can kind of use them essentially as bait in most of my games. But you see a lot in this game, me just kind of running solo. I'll see that 3 of my teammates are pushing A site and 1's watching the flank, and I'll just completely ignore them and go push B because I don't want to get stuck in some big gunfight with them. It's just not worth it for me. And you will most likely end up losing those. You are better off just kind of playing by yourself, again, unless you do have a team that is communicating. I'm speaking directly on if you have teammates who aren't talking. This game, I tried talking to my teammates, and they said a whole 2 words. I think at the end of the first half, one of my teammates spoke up and said that I needed to carry harder. So, you know, that's about it when it comes to solo queuing. My biggest tip is don't. It's a terrible idea, especially in ranked. Of course, if you're playing a spike rush or playing in a game of unrated, it's not that big of a deal because whether you win or lose doesn't really matter. But in a game of competitive, it does, and your best bet is to just play with people you know. But of course, that's not always a possibility. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and take it easy.